Football is back. The Boilermakers open the 2022 season a week from tomorrow night against the Penn State Nittany Lions at Ross-Ade Stadium. Purdue coming off a 9-4 season, including a Music City Bowl win over the Tennessee Volunteers. We'll have Jeff Brohm with us for the rest of the season here from Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union. Also tonight, we'll be joined by Payne Durham and Kieran Douglas, so they'll be joining us a little bit later on in the program. If you'd like to get any questions in for the coach, you can call 888-246-2678. You can also watch us and get your comments and questions in on the Facebook page for Purdue Athletics and on the Twitter site for Purdue Football. And when we come back, we'll hear from the coach. You're listening to the Jeff Brohm Show, presented by the Rohrman Automotive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
And Tennessee did it after missing so many players to the portal. O'Connell rolls, gonna let go, deep, wide open. A Purdue first down and more for Brock Thompson. Hung a U-turn on Lower Broadway. He is in. Touchdown, Purdue, 75 yards. He didn't even start in high school until his senior year. Flea flicker, gonna unload, and he goes to a crossing route for another first down. It's Brock Thompson again, who finally goes down at the 41. Doing it on bad wheels. O'Connell over the middle. Anthrop with great hands and a Purdue first down. O'Connell going deep. Is caught out at the 2-yard line. 3rd and 10. Hooker has a hit out of his hand. Falls on the grass and Purdue scrambling for it. Boilermakers have it. Little boot and a dump. Touchdown, Payne Durham. Low snap. O'Connell fires. Caught! First down, Purdue. What a grab by Garrett Miller. It's playing coverage. Over the middle. Caught by the tight end, Payne Durham. Into Tennessee territory. Spins free. Durham down the sideline. A stiff arm. He is in. What a play by Payne Durham. Now O'Connell fires sideline. Caught! It's Brock Thompson again, and he will rumble all the way down to the sideline for a 70-yard touchdown.
It's right there off the edge.
Hooker looking, scramble, taken down. The Purdue's 9th win of the season. It is good, and Purdue in a back-and-forth affair wins it in overtime.
Welcome back to the Jeff Brohm Show. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. And we are joined by the head coach. Jeff Brohm is with us. Jeff, first of all, welcome back. Tell us a little bit about your summer. Did you get a chance to do anything that was not football related this summer?
Well, I had a busy summer. Was able to spend some time with the family. My daughter's playing some travel volleyball, so went out of town for that. Went to Florida for that, but really was around the team a lot. You know, nowadays it's pretty much a year-round job, and you've got to make sure your team's preparing the right way, and there's a lot of work that goes into playing a season. You know, you only get so many true opportunities to play football, but you have to put in a lot of work and a lot of time and effort, and that's myself, our coaches and players. So you just don't want to miss out, and, you know, we have a great year ahead of us. We're looking forward to some great opponents, and we have to be ready to play.
You know, we haven't talked on air since the Music City Bowl, and it was quite a game for the Boilermakers to beat Tennessee in overtime in what was essentially a home game for the Volunteers. How much did that carry over into the offseason when you went into the weight room and went back for spring ball?
Well, I will say it was a tremendous win, and the credit goes to our players. A lot of guys stepped up. A lot of guys were not able to play. Some new players had to emerge. Our guys played really hard. We played to the end against a very good opponent that was really hot, basically in their stadium. We had a great fan turnout ourselves, but if it wasn't Purdue fans, there was a bunch of orange and every seat was taken. And it was a back-and-forth game, and our guys just hung in there and played hard to the end. And those are games that really make you feel good when you can win them. It meant a lot to our team. Without question, it gives you confidence going into the next year. And you realize that, you know, if you're willing to pay the price and do a lot of things right, then you're going to have an opportunity to possibly win. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. You know, we start off with a bang, and we've got to be ready to play. Our guys understand that. You know, every year is a new year, so it really doesn't matter what happened the year before. You've got to go out and prove yourself. And, our guys have worked hard, and we've had a good camp up until this point.
You went into spring football, and I think every team does this on the collegiate ranks. You've got some guys out with injuries that they've got to have surgeries from stuff that that has happened during the regular season. But it's also an opportunity to build some depth. Were you able to get through with what you wanted to do in spring football this year?
I think we were. We did have more injuries than we've had and more surgeries. But you know what? That's part of football, and our guys play in a tough physical conference. They played hard. They gave us tremendous effort. Some things happened, and we've got to, we had to go about getting those guys fixed and healthy, and that takes time. It just takes some time, and you've got to do it the right way. But yes, a lot of new guys have really improved. I think we've added some depth on the D-line, which is very important. I do think that we have made progress to this point on the offensive line, adding a little bit of depth here and there as well. I think we have a lot of capable receivers that are dying to get out there and prove themselves, but we definitely need to prove ourselves, and that's going to be a number one thing on our mind is for those guys to go out there and get a chance to do that. But I think on defense, the secondary was beat up, and we're a little thin at depth, but the other guys are getting better, and we're going to have to play a lot. And but at this point, I do think they've put in a lot of work and they're ready to go.
Depth is the word that you mentioned there, and it's something I think when you took over in 2017, the first thing you noticed is there was some frontline talent, but there wasn't a lot when you went down to the 2s and 3s. Are you closer now to where you want to be roster construction-wise in terms of depth?
Well, every year I think we're making slight progress, and that's what you have to do. And you always want to develop some difference makers. Those are critical. I mean, you have to have a couple guys that can carry the load, that can be great leaders, that can win one-on-one matchups. So that's what we're trying hard to get right now, and a lot of guys are putting in work. At the same time, yes, you have to have capable bodies that are ready to go in and play and compete at the highest level against really good football teams, and I do think that we've gained an advantage there as far as we have improved. And, you never really know until the season starts, and, we'll find out game one where we're at and how far we need to go.
There was a time years and years ago, and when I say that, I'm talking 2 and 3 years ago, when you had signing day, and you might get a transfer or two, but now with the portal, it's become really a 365-day-a-year recruiting odyssey that you go on. Talk about what you were able to get out of the portal this year that will help you for the 2022 season.
Well, I really feel like we did a good job, and that is a lot of recruiting now is getting some high school young men to come in and play and be a part of your team, but also getting some guys to come in and make an immediate difference right off the bat. And I think we believe we hit on quite a few of those that we feel can come in. When you look at Charlie Jones and Tyrone Tracy on offense, I think could be great additions. We took 2 offensive linemen in Sione Fanu and Daniel Johnson that have had really good camps that will add depth and possibly a lot of playing time there and do a really good job. We took a transfer at running back, Kobe Lewis, who's coming along. Now, at the same time, I feel like, Dylan Dowling has had a great summer, and he's in the best shape that he's been in and really has been in our offense and understands it. With Kobe, it'll take a little time just to kind of grasp the whole thing. And then on defense, Scotty Humpage is somebody that we feel really good about that has had a really good camp. We took Bryce Hampton, who's in the secondary, that's going to have to play for us. We don't have a ton of depth in the back end. So I just feel like that, and I'll definitely don't want to leave out Reese Taylor.
Right.
Reese Taylor has been a great addition, really has played extremely well in this camp. I think he's going to have a breakout year. We got a lot of confidence in him, and he's been a really good leader.
All right, we'll take a break. This is the Jeff Brohm Show presented by the Rohrman Automotive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Look at this crowd here, Folk Field. Are you kidding me? Take a bow, 3,217, a new record.
How do you know when it's time to go?
Like everybody in West Lafayette knows there's a soccer game going on right now.
When it's time to fight, dodge and bullets, death is coming. Might be your time, but not tonight.
And pulled out of the air by Kyle. Naomi Splinters drops it over, and Purdue takes a 1-0 lead. Pouncing again with the braces, Gracie Dunaway. Purdue knocking off number 15 USC 3-0.
Highest ranked home win since 2006. Huge performance start to finish.
Purdue is not rebuilding. Purdue is reloading.
Chin, the swing and the kill. Matty Chin, the Boilermakers have done it. Purdue upsets number 3 Ohio State.
The block from Ellis this time.
How about Purdue continuing to put on a blocking clinic?
Boilermakers and Penn State a week from tomorrow. It'll be at Ross-Ade Stadium at 8 o'clock. Our pregame coverage will start at 7. We do have another Jeff Brohm Show, by the way, coming up, and a special day next week. We'll be here Monday night, Monday at 6:05 next week, because we're playing a game on Thursday night. And, Jeff, I think a lot of fans are excited about the season, and they're excited about the fact that it's Penn State as an opening game. But I think one lesson that we've learned over the years is whether you win that game or lose that game, you still got 11 more to play, so you can't put all the eggs in one basket.
No, you're correct. We do take it as a one-game season. Doesn't matter who we play, but this is a great opportunity. When you play a football team, like Penn State that has a ton of talent, depth at every position. We played them 3 years ago, and they flat got after us, and it was a long day for us. This will really test and see how far we've come. And the fact that we have them at home at Ross-Ade in front of our fans is huge. I think that'll give us an advantage. But we're going to have to play really good football, and it's going to have to be right off the bat. And all of our guys are going to have to hitting on all cylinders, and we're just going to play to the end and hope for the best.
I mentioned that we're on Facebook tonight on the Purdue Athletics site and on the Purdue football site on Twitter. We've got a couple of questions coming in from Facebook. Steve is boilering up from Miami. Wants to know if we're going to see Yanni Karlaftis more this year, and also who is the most improved special teams player so far this season.
Okay, you know what? Yanni is really starting to improve and get better. Unfortunately, for the second summer in a row, he got injured, pulled a hamstring, it might have been a knee that knocked him out for a little while, and then he unfortunately broke his finger, so he has to have that wrapped as well. So he's just had some bad luck. Has he gotten better? Yes, for sure he has. And you know what? He's gotten better size, better strength. He's coming along. It's not going to happen overnight, but he will play this year. We expect him to do good things for us. When it comes to special teams, when you get a guy like Charlie Jones, who's very dynamic in the return game, he's somebody that we have to figure out a way to get blocks and set up some returns and give him a chance to showcase the great talent he has.
By the way, if we mention Yanni, we should mention that George Karlaftis, NFL draft pick, playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I think NFL teams are finding him as hard to block as the college teams he played against.
Well, the little bit I saw, I agree with you. I read something online the other day, and they kind of graded all the first-round draft picks, and of all of them, they raved about George Karlaftis and how they probably missed on him and had him ranked lower than they should have. But you know what? It's a credit to him. As we all know here, he's a tremendous football player. You can't block him one-on-one. It's really because his relentless effort, his work ethic, his intelligence, his ability to study the game. He wants to do great things. He's a super teammate, and I just think that Kansas City will embrace him, and he'll help them, hopefully get to the Super Bowl.
Isaac, writing in from West Lafayette, says he was born and raised a Boilermaker. He wants to know what sets the Ross-Ade Brigade student section apart from the rest of the Big Ten student sections. You're going to get a chance to hear from them a week from tomorrow, and I'm sure for an 8 o'clock kickoff on the second week of classes, they're going to be pretty jacked up for that game.
I really feel like our student turnout has been outstanding. They're into the game. They get there early. They want to go out there and have some fun and try to celebrate when the game's over. So they want to do their part, and I think when it comes to football, when it comes to basketball, I went to the first soccer game against USC, and it was a tremendous turnout. I think they doubled the record crowd because all the students showed out, and they waited in a long line for an hour to get in. So we're thankful for their support. We hope to put on a good show for them, but it's great to see all those students in the stands when we take the field.
You know, one of the things as you tried to turn this program around, you had to make Ross-Ade Stadium a difficult place for opposing teams to play in, and I think that has certainly become the case here so far.
That's what makes college football fun, is the ability to play in your home stadium in front of your people, your family, friends, and fans, and make it a college festive atmosphere. And when you play great opponents and you find ways to win those games, that's as good as it gets in collegiate sports. And, you know, we've got a tremendous opportunity this year against great opponents at home. Our fans have done a tremendous job for the last few years to help us have some big wins. And when you do that, it's a great feeling, and really everybody's a part of it. We like to think that our team is not only just our players and coaches, but all of our students and fans that want to be a part of it, because it takes everybody to win a football game.
All right, we're coming to you from walk-ons in the Purdue Memorial Union. We'll have more of the Jeff Brohm after this. We're presented by Rohrman Automotive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
It's the final days of the...
Look at this crowd here, Folk Field. Are you kidding me? Take a bow, 3,217, a new record.
How do you know when it's time to go?
Like everybody in West Lafayette knows there's a soccer game going on right now.
When it's time to fight, you dodge some bullets, death is coming. Might be your time, but not tonight.
And pulled out of the air by Kyle. Naomi Splintles drops it over, and Purdue takes a 1-0 lead. Gracie Dunaway, Purdue leads it 2-0. Trouble again, and it's 3-0. Pouncing again with the braces, Gracie Dunaway. Purdue knocking off number 15 USC 3-0.
Highest ranked home win since 2006. Huge performance start to finish.
Purdue is not rebuilding. Purdue is reloading.
Chin, the swing and the kill. Matty Chin, the Boilermakers have done it. Purdue upsets number 3 Ohio State.
The block from Ellis this time.
How about Purdue continuing to put on a blocking clinic?
Welcome back to the Jeff Brohm Show. We're live at walk-ons in the Purdue Memorial Union. Everyone needs a little playing time, and the 2022 Purdue football season is presented by Purdue Global. Purdue Global is Purdue's accredited and affordable online solution for working adults. Persistence pays off at Purdue Global, and we're thankful to have them as a season sponsor, extending the reach of Purdue far beyond the boundaries of campus, and Purdue Global has been a great success during the tenure of Mitch Daniels, and who, by the way, is, in case you haven't heard, stepping down at the end of this year, retiring after 10 years as Purdue president. He's seen a lot of Boilermaker victories.
Well, he's a huge supporter, and you know what? You couldn't have a better president than what we had the last 10 years. And he's not only done great for the university, but he's been a huge supporter of the athletic programs, and we're just really thankful for everything he's done for us.
Got a question here online about quarterbacks, but I do want to ask one first. And this is the first time since you came here in 2017 you knew on day one of fall camp who your starting quarterback was going to be. And sometimes in recruiting, the guys that you bring back on your team are the most important recruits. And when Aiden O'Connell decided to come back for year number 6, it had to be a sigh of relief for you.
Well, it's kind of boring when you know who the quarterback's going to be, isn't it? But no, in all honesty, Aiden has earned the job. He's done it the hard way. The credit goes to him, and he just really spends the time in order to be great. And he started from the very bottom. He's worked extremely well with my brother Brian, who coaches the quarterbacks. And I just think, you know, the last half of the year he played at a very high level. I mean, a very high level. He was efficient. He was accurate. He understood things. He made good decisions. He helped us win football games. And that's what you want to see. You want to see if he can ante up and find a way to play better. If he can, yes, we're going to have a chance to win football games. But at the same time, you know, it's a new team, new receivers, and you got to go out and prove it. But I do know he's put in a ton of work in order to help us win. You
know, the thing that strikes me, and not just talking to him off the field and being around him a little bit, but on the field, is how calm he is, how unflappable he seems to be. Even in the midst of a storm, he seems to keep his composure at all times.
Without question, that's a strength, and that's not common for somebody to have that much poise and presence and about him and not get rattled. He's been like that. That has been his strength from day one. Even when we first put him in the game, he was able to handle that and help us win football games and come in at times in the second half and help us win games. And, you know, that's just not easy to do. So he just really, like I've said before, he's got strong faith. He believes in the powers above. He believes in himself. He trusts his teammates. He gives it everything he's got, and he knows that, you know, because of that, he's become a very good player.
Aiden is unquestionably the #1 quarterback, and I don't know if you have named or will name a #2, but you've got 3 options there. You've got Michael Limo coming back, Austin Burton, and then Brady Allen, a very talented freshman. Talk about their progress so far in camp.
Well, they've all 3 had good camps, and I think at some point during the year and even, you know, during the normal season, you know, they're going to have a role. And whether it's coming in as a backup if someone gets injured, whether it's coming in for a few plays if someone gets the wind knocked out of them, or coming in situationally, whether it's in the red zone or certain third downs, we have to make sure that those guys are ready to go. But they've done a really good job. They get along extremely well. They understand it's going to take all of them at some point. Austin Burton gives us some mobility in the pocket and ability to create and make plays outside. And Michael Lamo's really improved. He's had a really good camp. He can throw the football up the field. He also has some athleticism and is a really strong kid. And Brady Allen really just keeps getting better. And, you know, he's still young, but he keeps getting better. He works extremely hard. And I think he's going to be a very, very good player when it's all said and done.
We've also seen David Bell make his mark in the NFL. He had 3 catches for the Browns last week in their exhibition game. And you're going to miss David Bell at the receiver spot, but you've got a plethora of people there to throw to. Your tight ends are going to be important. We're going to be here from Payne Durham in a few minutes. But you did lose Garrett Miller in preseason camp, and that's a loss. It's going to be hard to overcome because he was going to be a big part of the offense.
Well, that's what's exciting. You're going to see some new guys catching the football. And we want to see those guys emerge. But, you know, Brock Thompson, we hope to get him back healthy. T.J. Sheffield, they played football for us. Charlie Jones and Tyrone Tracer, we've added those guys. And then whether it's Deion Burks and Colin Sullivan, Preston Terrell, Elijah Canyon's a transfer who's done some good things for us. There's quite a few guys that we feel like can go in there and help us now. Are they difference makers yet, and can they carry the load? I don't know that yet, but they've worked hard to get that done. At tight end, of course, Payne has played a lot of football for us. He's a great leader, cares about the team, does everything we ask him more, and we got to keep him healthy. Unfortunately, we did lose Garrett, and Garrett was really athletic and can stretch the field and was getting better and better, and he was strong, he was physical. And we have some young tight ends, but they're just young, and you know, they've got to make sure they grow up fast, and we've got to put our guys in the best position to succeed. But you know, we like the group, and we hope that you know, they go out and play well.
All right, we're going to let the coach enjoy some of the fine food here at Walk-Ons. When we come back, we'll hear from Payne Durham. It's the Jeff Brohm Show, presented by the Rohrman Automotive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
And Tennessee did it after missing so many players to the portal. O'Connell rolls, going to let go, deep, wide open. A Purdue first down and more for Brock Thompson. Hung a U-turn on Lower Broadway. He is in. Touchdown, Purdue, 75 yards. He didn't even start in high school until his senior year. Flea flicker, going to unload, and he goes to a crossing route for another first down. It's Brock Thompson again, who finally goes down at the 41. Doing it on bad wheels. O'Connell over the middle. Anthrop with great hands and a Purdue first down. O'Connell going deep. Is caught out at the 2-yard line. 3rd and 10. Hooker has a hit out of his hand. Falls on the grass, and Purdue scrambling for it. Boilermakers have it. Little boot and a dump. Touchdown, Payne Durham. Low snap. O'Connell fires. Caught! First down, Purdue.
northwest change of direction, I would almost remove that right now.
Pressure coming again and complete to Bayless Jones, but he's just short. That'll leave 4th and 1. Field goal would give them a 4-point advantage. Instead, they'll run it, needing one. Hooker, stop short! Huge stop for Purdue, and they get the ball back. 2nd and 8. Ball got loose in the mesh. Hooker recovers, wants to throw, instead will scramble, and he gets popped. It's playing coverage. Over the middle, caught by the tight end, Payne Durham, into Tennessee territory, spins free! Durham down the sideline! A stiff arm, he is in! What a play by Payne Durham! Now O'Connell fires sideline, caught! It's Brock Thompson again, and he will rumble all the way down to the sideline for a 70-yard touchdown! He's right there off the edge. Hooker looking, scramble, taken down! 2 tight ends in for Tennessee. 3rd and goal. Straight ahead again. And short. Down to the 1. Loaded backfield with Jalen Wright behind the big fellas. Wright, hit, shoves, drives, stop, reaches, and they say he is short of the goal line, and a turnover on downs for the 3rd time tonight. For Purdue's 9th win of the season. It is good, and Purdue in a back-and-forth affair wins it in overtime.
The Rohrman Automotive Group is supporting your Boilermakers as the presenting sponsor of the Jeff Brohm Show and proud partner of Purdue Athletics. Rohrman Automotive Group, boiler up and hammer down. It's time for the Pro Boilers feature, where we look at how former Purdue student athletes are doing in their professional sports careers. Pro Boilers is presented by Indiana Kitchen Premium Pork Products. Get to know us at indianakitchen.com. Both our Pro Boilers and Indiana Kitchen are boiler made. We thought it would be appropriate tonight to talk about a former Boilermaker who is an NFL Hall of Famer. Len Dawson passed away earlier today at the age of 87. He was a member of the Cradle of Quarterbacks, a 3-year starter at Purdue, 1954, 55, and 56. All 3 years, he led the Big Ten in passing and in total offense. He led the Boilermakers to an upset of #1 Notre Dame in 1954, and he was the first football academic All-American in school history. Went on for the Kansas City Chiefs to throw for 28,711 yards and 239 touchdowns. He's in the Pro Football Hall of Fame as both a player and a broadcaster, and his lasting legacy at Purdue, he was nicknamed the Golden Boy. And Al Wright's wife, Al Wright was the band director back in 1954, and his wife Gladys said, well, if there's a golden boy, we should have a golden girl. And that's why we have a golden girl who twirls at Purdue football games with the All-American Marching Band, and the first one was Juanita Carpenter. So little history for you, and certainly our condolences go out to Len Dawson and his family. We are joined now by Payne Durham. Payne, a fifth-year senior from Sewanee, Georgia. Academic, All Big Ten 3 times, All Big Ten honorable mention last year. And we were just talking in the break, we talked about Garrett Miller with Coach Brohm a little earlier. He had his surgery earlier today, and I knew you've been staying in contact with him. How's he doing?
Definitely. The first few days for him, they were obviously very tough. He had a great offseason, great spring, great summer. He was geared to have a huge year for us. So definitely hurt as a teammate and, his friend. You hate to see someone go through something like that. But he came to terms with it, had his surgery today, went well. He's recovering, and he's going to rehab and come back stronger than ever next year.
By the way, I should mention, you're not only a 3-time academic All-Big Ten selection at Purdue, but you're also a Purdue graduate. Congratulations. Already have your undergraduate degree.
I do.
Working on your master's, so you've taken care of things in the classroom. Talk about taking care of things on the football field. There's a lot of excitement around this program in 2022. What's the excitement level like within the team with the 8 days to go before kickoff?
Definitely. We're really excited to play someone else and quit hitting each other. We want to build off last year. We want to keep our momentum and take it week by week and kind of look up when the season's over and not look too far forward or ahead.
We got a question here on Facebook from Kylie Taylor, who is the social media coordinator for the Ross-Ade Brigade. And Kylie wants to know, what was going through your head after your spin move touchdown during the Music City Bowl? Talk us through that play, because it's a play that'll live forever in Purdue football history?
The main thing was don't get caught. And then the second thing was, man, Coach Brohm and Coach Wallace are going to call me slow as soon as I get to the sideline. But, no, it was really just I thought I was going out of bounds, and they kind of let go, so I just kept running, and I was happy to be able to make a play for my team. And then Brock came back and scored, and then Mitch put it through. So it was a big win for us.
You know, the amazing thing about that play is not only the fact that you were able to evade that tackle, but there was a guy that was running out of bounds that was trying to hit the ball out of your hands for the last 10 yards. Could you feel him behind you?
I saw him on the first couple of steps, so I knew he was back there.
So you were ready to protect. What was, you know, as fans and even as broadcasters, that game was such an emotional and physical roller coaster. What was it like to be in the locker room after coming out on the top end of a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, just a beautiful feeling, just kind of triumph. You go to war. That was definitely the longest football game I think I've been a part of. I felt like we were out there for 10 hours, and it felt so good just seeing everyone happy, kind of an image of what we went through all season. We kind of had our ups and downs, and in that game we had our ups and downs, and we had a lot of factors going against us. They had a lot of fans. We had people out. So it was just kind of good to know that we can come together and make something special like that happen.
I talked with the coach earlier about the nice thing about having Aiden O'Connell back is he's got familiarity with the offense, but he's also got familiarity with a lot of you. Talk about your connection with him and how you're able to read each other when you're out in the field.
Yeah, definitely. On the field, I feel like we complement each other. We have good chemistry. Off the field, you know, he's one of my best friends. I was at his wedding, and Aiden's just an all-around good person and a great football player, and so we're definitely happy to have him.
So is the level of wedding gift going to be tied to how many passes you get this year, and did you take care of him in that way?
I did delay the wedding gift till after the season so I can really judge what he deserves. No, I'm just kidding.
There you go. What's it like now going into your final year, your fifth year? You know that this is going to be the last hurrah, and you got your last training camp wrapping up and your last season opener. Is the finality of all of this hitting you yet?
Not really. I mean, it's definitely something I've thought about going through it, but I've really been trying to take it day by day and enjoy the people I'm with and, you know, create memories that I'm going to remember forever. I've seen a lot of people come and go through the doors in my time here. I'm an old man here. And I still go to people's weddings. I've been to a couple former teammates' weddings and birthdays and stuff like that. So just trying to create friendships and memories that I'll keep with me.
You know, everybody has a role in the football team, both on and off the field, and you seem to be a guy that kind of keeps the energy level up. You're I don't know if a character is the right word, but you show your character out in the field. Is that a natural thing, or have you had to force yourself to be that way?
I would say it's a natural thing. Sometimes I have to force myself to control it or move it in a direction that the team needs. I can't always be the rah-rah energy guy because sometimes that's not what we need. But I would say it comes natural. I think it just goes to the relationship that I have with everyone on the team.
Have you visualized that open night against Penn State with a full stadium and a blackout crowd there?
I have, and I'm very excited for it.
And Purdue comes out on the top end of that visualization, right?
Of course.
Payne, congratulations on a great career so far. We hope you have a great super senior season, and let's play deep into December and maybe January.
Will do. Thank you very much.
All right, we're on the Jeff Brohm Show. Kieran Douglas will join us next. We're presented by the Rohrman Automotive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
And Tennessee did it after missing so many players to the portal. O'Connell rolls, going to let go, deep, wide open. A Purdue first down and more for Brock Thompson. On the U-turn on Lower Broadway. He is in. Touchdown, Purdue, 75 yards. He didn't even start in high school until his senior year. Flea flicker, going to unload, and he goes to a crossing route for another first down. It's Brock Thompson again, who finally goes down at the 41. Doing it on bad wheels. O'Connell over the middle. Anthrop with great hands and a Purdue first down. O'Connell going deep. Is caught out at the 2-yard line. 3rd and 10. Hooker has a hit out of his hand. Falls on the grass and Purdue scrambling for it. Boilermakers have it. Little boot and a dump. Touchdown, Payne Durham. Low snap. O'Connell fires. Caught! First down, Purdue. What a grab by Garrett Miller. It's playing coverage. Over the middle. Caught by the tight end, Payne Durham. Into Tennessee territory. Spins free. Durham down the sideline. A stiff arm. He is in. What a play by Payne Durham. Now O'Connell fires sideline. Caught. It's Brock Thompson again. And he will rumble all the way down to the sideline for a 70-yard touchdown.
It's right there off the edge.
Hooker looking. Scramble. Taken down. For Purdue's 9th win of the season. It is good. And Purdue in a back-and-forth affair wins it in overtime.
Welcome back to the Jeff Brohm Show. We're live at Walk-Ons in the Purdue Memorial Union, where it's always game day with a taste of Louisiana. The Boilermakers and Penn State will kick off the season next Thursday night. We'll be on the air at 7, kickoff at 8. You can actually join us on Facebook Live. Pete Quinn, Kelly Kitchell, and I will have a preview of the game starting at 6:30 next Thursday night. And don't forget, we'll have another Jeff Brohm Show coming up on these same network stations on Monday at 6:05. Joined now by Kieran Douglas. Kieran is a 6th-year senior from Pickerington, Ohio. Your dad was a football player at Kansas.
He was.
So you grew up, I would assume, in somewhat of an athletic environment growing up, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I was a kid, my dad was my coach. So me and my sister actually, we ran track together, and he was our coach, and he taught me a lot about the game of football. He knew a lot, he knows a lot, he still coaches. And I really valued that experience as a kid.
Now, you talk a lot to players who played for their dads, and sometimes it's a positive because you're able to spend a lot of time together. How do you separate those sometimes, the coach from the dad part?
Yeah, I mean, it's when we're on the track or we're on the football field. He's my coach, and it is a different dynamic. It's kind of interesting because. It's like, what the coach says kind of is what you do. You don't really question any of it or anything. But then, as a father, it's a relationship, right? I think it is an important distinction, and I think that he's done a really good job of being a father and a coach.
Now, your sister runs track at Notre Dame?
Yeah, she does.
Who's faster? What's her event, first of all?
She's a sprinter, 100, 200.
So I'm going to guess it might be hard to keep up with Sis at this point?
It used to be when we were kids. She was faster than me. Actually, me and my brother, we would go out on the track with her, and she used to be faster. But I don't know that I can say that that's still the case.
I understand. I would imagine that the Thanksgiving football games, Thanksgiving delayed, might be a little fun. Pretty athletic competition out there. You had a tremendous Music City Bowl game. 14 tackles in that game and 12 unassisted tackles. Just talked to Payne Durham about that. Talk about your memories of that game. I mean, it was just such an epic battle, not only in time, but also in the roller coaster that everybody went through.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I remember looking after the game at the how many plays we played, and I had played, I think it was 109 snaps, which, I mean, it's not even close to anything else that really I've ever done before. So it was definitely different in that way. I mean, playing them, it was a little bit of a different offense than we're used to seeing in the Big Ten. So that was obviously something we had prepared for. But it was definitely just it was an interesting and new experience and a good, productive learning experience for everybody.
I think the big story of Purdue football in 2021 was the emergence of the defense. Mm-hmm. How can this defense be better in 2022?
I think, to me, this defense should be better because we have a lot of guys. I mean, if you look at the guys we have coming back, I feel like we have a veteran defense, and I felt like we had pretty much a veteran defense last year, and I just think that the chemistry has only grown. I think the knowledge has only grown, and I think that we're going to be able to work together really well because of that.
Now, you've had outstanding success on the football field, and hopefully we'll have it again this year. I was looking at your bio, and I was kind of struck by the fact that you still play, but you've played guitar, violin, and piano. Self-taught, or where did you come up with that musical ability?
Yeah, well, actually, I still remember it was I had never touched an instrument before. I was probably about seventh grade, and my mom had taught all of me and my siblings how to play chopsticks on the piano. And it was just a simple little tune, but I just remember being so fascinated by just the ability to make music on, this instrument. And so I would just, from that time on, I would just, I would just look for different ways to make music, different instruments, and I like to record music, and I just think it's a really great outlet.
So you still play?
I do, yeah.
All 3 instruments, or have you kind of focused on one these days?
I focused on the violin.
Really?
In high school a lot. I was, I wanted to go, at one point, I wanted to go to school for violin, believe it or not, to college for violin, and if I wasn't a football player, that might have been what would have happened, which a lot of people are usually surprised to hear. But I took it that seriously, and I like to think gotten pretty good at it. Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling he's going to make sweet music on the field in 2022. Kieran, congratulations on your career so far. Have a great super senior season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, we'll have the head coach back with us. It's the Jeff Brohm Show presented by the Rohrman Automotive Group on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
You work hard, and at First Farmers Bank and Trust, we work hard for you. Since 1885, we've committed to helping families, businesses, and communities thrive financially. From home to the office, to the field, to the arena. We value hard work and perseverance as much as you do. Experience banking built on heart and grit today. Learn more at ffbt.com. First Farmers is a proud sponsor of Purdue Athletics. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Another season of women's and men's college sports is underway. Follow your alma mater or favorite team in their pursuit of the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2023 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
At Unity Healthcare, we have a team of over 100 independent providers working alongside you to support you with all of your medical needs. Our independence not only allows us to make the best decisions for you locally, but also ensures more money stays in your pocket while still combining the experience, dedicated medical care, latest technologies, and wide range of medical services you need. At Unity Healthcare, we're here to help you live your best life every day. Unity Healthcare, healthier together.
Getting your degree online as a working adult doesn't mean you have to sacrifice a high-quality education. For 153 years, as one of the world's most respected and innovative universities, Purdue has been making top-tier education accessible to all. Purdue Global is Purdue's accredited and affordable online solution designed for the working adult with life experience and often some college credit but no degree. Earn your degree with a name you can be proud of at purdueglobal.edu.
The Rohrman Automotive Group is supporting your Boilermakers as the presenting sponsor of the Jeff Brohm Show and proud partner of Purdue Athletics. Rohrman Automotive Group, boiler up and hammer down. Head coach is back with us. We talked with Kieran in that last segment about the defense. Defense was really the big thing in 2021 that it improved. So let me ask you, how can that unit take a step forward this season?
Well, we want to continue to improve without question. I thought that they played very, very well last year. Kieran did a great job. Gave us a force in the middle. He can tackle. He can hit. He loves to play football. He loves to compete. So it's great when you have a bunch of guys that just want to go out there and prove themselves. But, we want to take it a step higher. And, I thought we did better against the pass. We did better, limiting the amount of points that were being scored. But at the same time, we gave up quite a few yards in the run game. So we just want to make sure that we're aggressive in our approach. We're trying to get after the quarterback. We want to be able to disguise, but also, get the quarterback on the ground. And I think it's important every time that, when you take the field, you're aggressive and you try to let your players go make plays.
Let me flip back to the other side. We had a question on Facebook a little bit earlier about who your lead running back would be, and I think King Daru right now is probably your number one, but Dylan Downing is right behind him. Talk about the difference between those two and what they can both bring to your offense.
Well, it's good to have experience, and King has played a lot of football for us and understands what we're doing. He's a great young man. He's been through a lot, but he definitely wants to go out there and help his team win. Dylan Dowling transferred here and really has continued to improve. He's in the best shape he's ever been in. He's had the best camp that he's ever had, and I think he's going to do a really good job for us this year. And at the same time, Tyrone Tracy will be mixed in there. And then Kobe Lewis has really good talent. He just is green to the offense and got here late in the summer, and it's just going to take him a little while to learn things.
Flipping back, we haven't talked too much about special teams yet, but Mitchell Finneran had a terrific season. Had a couple of games where he fell off a little bit, but other than that, he was pretty much perfect last year. And he kicked. We know he can kick in the clutch because he hit the big kick at the end of the Music City Bowl. I would assume more of the same for Mitchell, maybe a little bit more range in 2022.
Well, he hit a 57-yarder today in practice, and we were just trying to work on punting it and covering down when they can return the long field goal. So he's gotten better, and just a great young man. We were fortunate to get him as a transfer, and he came in here and competed very hard. He's got a great demeanor, well-liked on the football team, and he has. His leg strength has improved, but he was very accurate for us last year. He takes things seriously, but just a terrific young man to be around, and we hope that he has a great year.
As far as the punting is concerned, Jack Ansell came to you from Australia last year, had a little bit of an up and down year, but we know he's got a big leg. The question is whether that big leg translates to Saturday afternoon and Saturday nights.
Well, Jack's worked hard as well, and even though he's a little bit older for a freshman last year, he's still a freshman, and kicking in the big stage, I think, just affected him a little bit. He puts a lot of pressure on himself. He wants to do well, which we love that about him, but he's just got to learn to put pressure on himself in practice, and then in the game just cut it loose and punt it. And I just think that he'll continue to improve, but he's had a good camp. He needs to do well for us this year. We have competition with him in Brendan Cropsey, who is a really good walk-on that, wouldn't shock me if he gets some reps every now and then. But, we want it to be a competition, but we expect Jack to go out there and perform and do a really good job.
All right, final segment of the Jeff Brohm Show presented by the Rohrman Automotive Group is coming up on the Purdue Global Sports Network from Learfield.
Attention Purdue fans, we have partnered with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance to give 2 lucky winners a VIP football game experience at either the home game against Iowa or the away game against Indiana this season. Prizes can include a VIP experience, 2 tickets, hospitality passes, and parking. Want a chance to be at home or away with the Boilers? Be sure to enter online at PurdueHomeAndAway.com. That's PurdueHomeAndAway.com.
Get ready for non-stop summer fun with Honda and watch your monthly payment drop with low 1.9% financing. See new Honda.
Great hands and a Purdue first down. O'Connell going deep. Is caught out at the 2-yard line. 3rd and 10. Hooker has a hit out of his hand. Falls on the grass and Purdue scrambling for it. Boilermakers have it. Little boot and a dump. Touchdown, Payne Durham. Low snap. O'Connell fires. Caught. First down, Purdue. What a grab by Garrett Miller. It's playing coverage. Over the middle. Caught by the tight end, Payne Durham. Into Tennessee territory. Spins free. Durham down the sideline. A stiff arm. He is in. What a play. Now O'Connell fires sideline. Caught! It's Brock Thompson again, and he will rumble all the way down to the sideline for a 70-yard touchdown.
It's right there off the edge.
Hooker looking. Scramble. Taken down! For Purdue's 9th win of the season. It is good, and Purdue in a back-and-forth affair wins it in overtime.
An affordable online solution for working adults. Persistence pays off at Purdue Global. Just a couple of minutes left. Don't forget, we'll be back here Monday night at 6:05. We'll talk a lot more in that one about Penn State. But, Jeff, let's talk about the schedule between now and then. A little bit different having a Thursday night game, so how do you ramp up between now and then?
Well, we've had a really good camp. Our guys have practiced hard. We've gotten in a ton of repetitions. But we do want to get guys to the game healthy, and that's kind of the tough decisions you have to make as a coach is that fine line of making sure you practice hard enough and making sure you don't lose guys in practice. And we've lost a couple in camp, which happens occasionally. But at the same time, we still have guys that need to mend fully. We need to get them healthy. But we had a little light practice today. The players will be off the practice field tomorrow. We'll have a good longer practice on Friday, and then they'll be off the practice field on Saturday, and then back at it again on Sunday. So I think we've got a good schedule ahead for them. We've tried to take care of them through camp. They've done a really good job, but we do want to get to the game healthy.
Yeah, and I think getting to the field healthy, we've seen one thing that we haven't seen before, I don't think, and that's the protective helmets, or the, I don't know what you call them, the bubble helmets that some of your position players wear the first couple of weeks in camp to try to cut down on concussions. Have you heard any feedback from the players? Do they like it? Do they not like those?
I think they've actually helped slightly, and I think that's what you're looking to try to do, is just eliminate the everyday blows that the interior of the offense and defensive line, maybe running backs and linebackers. I think it has helped. We did have one or two slight concussions come up with a couple guys, but in the end, I think when you see the NFL teams doing it, it's got to help just take off those everyday blows, and we'll see if it lasts, but I do think it's been a good addition.
All right, last question we have from Facebook. I know you have throwing competitions. You get into it, the coaching staff does with the players. So, again, who's got the better arm, you or your brother Brian?
Well, if I just base it on last year's statistics of our goalpost throwing contest, I got worried that because I won more than our players did as well. So, it's probably because I went first, but at the same time, it's not easy to hit the crossbar from the 25-yard line, but I had some good luck on my side last year. It was definitely due to a lack of practice. It's kind of like a golf swing.
There you go.
You don't play a whole lot, but you go out and practice, you normally get worse unless you're really wanting to practice. So it was a good feeling because I felt like I still could throw last year. We'll see how I do this year.
We'll find out. We'll look forward to the updates. We'll see you on Monday, and have a great week of practice up until then.
Thank you.
I want to thank our engineer tonight on site, Wes Scott, with us. Our producer back at our Learfield studios is Ray Clapmeyer. Again, the Boilermakers and the Penn State Nittany Lions will kick off the 2022 season a week from tomorrow. It'll be Thursday, September 1st at Ross-Ade Stadium. 8 o'clock kickoff, 7 o'clock airtime, 6:30 will be our Facebook Live time. And we'll be back in the air right here from Walk-Ons in West Lafayette in the Purdue Memorial Union next Monday at 6:05 for our next edition of the Jeff Brohm Show. So for Payne Durham and for Kieran Douglas and the head coach, this is Tim Newton. Thanks for joining us. Talk to you next Monday night from here on Walk-Ons.
The Jeff Brohm Show has been brought to you by Rohrman Auto Group, supporting your Boilermakers as a proud partner of Purdue Athletics. Rohrman.